good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Loki Has His Camera Off Frickin' Kilter. Where Loki has his camera off kilter. There we go. So, tonight we are running, did not update that, goddammit. T4 Dark Hawks. Making all the easy-esque. There we go. It really is super easy-esque and is well worth doing. I highly recommend it. Please go and run all of the Tier 4 Darks and enjoy all the easiest coming in. Don't mind me, I'm just getting my stream stuff up on my phone so I can see what's going on. I have to check that, damn it. Okay. Twitch. There we go. Don't see any names there yet. Perfect. No, not that. I'm supposed to be live. Me, Loki. There we go. That thing there. No, bad. No sound. I'll do it. No, I don't want sound. Chat. Got it. Good job, me. There we go. I'll put that on my water over here. There we go. It's a little on the small side, but that's alright. So wait for using a phone instead of a tablet. It's my own damn fault. Okay, so running my usual hawks, these things have a largely they're not invincible, but we should be able to run these very, very quickly and very, very easily. Why am I closing these? Also have to make sure I'm on the right character for that. No. God damn it. No, that's fine. This one. So we... Oh, there we go. That should do it. Much better. Okay. And we go over here. Undock you. Over here. Undock. Oh. Over to Discord. Announcements. Paste. There's that. Let's warp to fleet to here. Over to this guy for a half a second. Don't mind that. Nothing to see there. Nope. Cancel you. Dock up. You have stuff on you. Don't want you to have stuff on you. Actually, literally nothing. Oh, no. You don't need cat boosters, you're fine. Okay, how much stuff do you have in here right now? You've got... Ooh, yeah, that'll help. Undock that. This guy can approach here. This guy can approach here. This guy can do that, and warp to there. Now we're ready to start. So, first things first. Again, as always, you don't have to hit all of your boosters and then go in regardless of what you get. I'm just terrible. You don't have to do the terrible stuff I do. You can hit that blue pill. See if you have a negative. No negative. And if you have no negative, then you can undock. If you have a negative, then you can absolutely go and jump clone a couple times in the same station, and off you go, and then hop over after. There's no negative for it to you, except you lose a 3 millionist booster. And then off you go. Oh, what? How many chat here? I have that there. This is actually entirely for this. There we go. Okay. Wow, this is a semi-terrible room. 2 tanglings. 1, 2. Let's orbit this at 30. Stuff on, stuff on, stuff on. Keeping in mind that this is, in fact, a tier 4. For a tier 6, there would be like 6 Drex in here. Also keep in mind that despite that, these guys can murder you. It's mostly the tanglings that can get you. So kill them first and you're fine. Tier 4, you've got lots of time. So take lots of time. Alright. 2, 2, and 2. And by 2, 2, and 2, I mean the tangling, not on the other one. Going to bring this into 15. We have already overshot all those, and none of my guys are webbed. Everybody's shooting this guy for the most part, not hitting him. And now there's no tangling left. So we're going to take out the Drex quickly as we can, because they're the ones that have some damage to their armor already. So by killing them, they get less reps. This room goes quicker. And if we're running tier 4s is fun to do with speed. Ooh. I think I have a Skybreaker. Alright. Biocache, Direct. Probably should have shot the other one, but sometimes it's not worth going through the effort of thinking about which one you're going to shoot. It's better to just shoot something. And then something's being shot, so you're happy. Now that I think about it, I forgot to do that. So let's go over to MoveBot. Over to giveaways, create, #Horde, create, and announce that that giveaway is open. That's the draw for the end of the night. Feel free to open that, to enter that. If you enter that and you are not here at the end of the night, guess what? You still win. I will IGS you, and you will get it. And if you're interested in what the prizes are for that, they are as follows. So anywhere between 100 million ISK and 2 billion, this character. Okay, so this Drakovic's the last thing that is any threat, and honestly, it's not really that much of a threat anyway. I have orbited them before, so not super concerned about them. We're going to start on these guys. $12 million there. And I'm going to go to the transfer gate. So the neat thing about these is this is 6 times the filament value by itself. So you are clearing the value of the filaments very quickly. Because if we take a look over here, Raging Dark filaments average 905,000. So yeah, easily paid off very, very quickly. And we're not even 4 minutes in. Okay. We can mark these as 1, 2, and I'm just going to put some marks on the heralds. There's no lookouts. There are no small deviants, so we can do this. And we can start shooting the heralds. And we'll shoot the trappers as well. Oh, turn it off, but I'm still shooting. We're good. The heralds affect your missile range. Is why we're killing them. Because if we get rid of them, then we can get a little more DPS in. It's not like nobody's doing damage. It's just that one character for a couple seconds isn't doing any damage. But it is still good to take them out. Okay, Trapper's almost dead. There we go. I'm going to take out the Knights, because 4 little dudes is not enough to actually bother our tank. So once the Knights are done, we're good. This guy clearly has the cap penalty. And both of my alts have the cap penalty, but that's alright, they're fine. They will survive. Okay, second vote of the night, let's go get him. And then we're going to target the biocache. Actually, at this point in time, where are these guys at? We can approach the biocache. By the time we get there, that knight is going to be dead. They're shield tanks. So he's already 3/4 dead, almost dead. Once that pops, he's gone. Instead of going little bits, it's half and full chunks of armor and shield. Like, approach that, shoot that. 4 frigates left. Honestly, these guys can go to the transfer conduit already. 20 million and a Veli's heavy, which is actually a little more relevant, but that's alright. So normally, actually no, that still kind of goes for my boosters, because I am running all of my boosters, which is actually the more expensive part of this now. But when that's the more expensive part too, like they're not that much. So let's go by that. So an hour's worth of boosters is less than 40 million. Because that's also accounting for pyro in all 3 instead of hard shell. I have 3 of each in my cargo holds. Alright, last room. And we still have 13 minutes left. Like, we're doing fine. Again, oh, no we don't. Two tangling. Now, the neat thing about blue clouds is nobody loves blue clouds. However, if you know where the blue clouds are, the speed clouds are not there. So it can be a little bit useful for that. Normally, I like to kill the... no, one sec here. Okay, so typically they're not there, but I mean, I have concerns right now. Okay, starving. Those Drex are so far away right now. I don't even know where I want to go. Hate it when none of this looks good. Alright. 1, 2, shoot. 1, 2, shoot. 1, 2, shoot. Why is all of this ugly? Alright, let's go up this way. Tower's there. We should be fine there for a minute. Should probably shoot that Kikimora first. Definitely targeted it wrong on that guy, but that's okay. Okay, let's approach there. Shoot the Drekovic. Turn those guys back on because they haven't been on for a bit. Hey there, Amel. How's it going? Grab this for another 20 million. That'll happen sometimes. And probably most of the time, since this is normally when I get on. Oh, might be sneezing though. I mean, you can still join the Horde. Hashtag Horde, buddy. Get in on that draw. Oh, definitely going to be another sneeze. Son of a bitch. Okay, so approach that. Approach that. Approach that. That's an origin conduit. Still lots of that left. Activate gate. So with 2 whatever rooms, 10.5 minutes. Dracovic rooms, there we go. So, that loot could be a little bit more. I think average is supposed to be about 80 million, not 50 million. However, first run, all my boosters are paid for, and all of my filaments for the rest of the hour are paid for. So it's not like a terrible amount of... Nope. Yes. It's not a terrible amount to ask by any stretch. If I can get 5 or 6 of these in an hour, whew. Still a good chunk of ISK. Also, I didn't get like 1 tier 5 or 6 electric clearly in that, because that would easily pay for just as much, right? Lurky, lurky, lurk. Okay, let's see what we get. Cryptus, some null charges. Also, in Cryptus is a little less of a threat in these. Little less of a threat. Less likely to one-shot you, and, oh wait, no, it's the Overmind that webs you, right, not the Cryptus. Still, it's not quite as strong. So we're going to kill the webs and newts first. They're definitely the bigger threat. However, tier 4, there's really not enough to be a big threat, so we should be fine. And they're all almost dead. It's like, hit a cap booster? No, I just don't really need to. My cap is going to come back just fine now. So for this, you have 47 kilometers, so just kite Cryptus around wherever you want. Just do not fly directly towards or directly away from, and don't shoot your own guys. The nub unlock. No short-range deviants, so we're not worried about that. Ideally, we want to stay... Oh, and don't, like, just stop in space. Bad idea. I have been slacking on YouTube lately. I never dual streamed anyway, but I will see about uploading to YouTube afterwards tonight. Because tier 4s are the best. You should absolutely run tier 4s and sell all of your tier 5 and 6 filaments for surezies, because these are just so easy and give you so much ISK. It's practically like printing ISK or printing Plex, either way. I will see about those later, because right now I'm not on Kick or YouTube. I don't know if you can try stream them, but I can always set up another computer to possibly do that as well. But as it is, just monitoring one chat is hard enough, never mind more. And I've been hearing that Twitch doesn't like you to put YouTube chat on with Twitch chat or something like that. I thought I read a thing about someone getting temp or permanent banned for that. But I don't know the full story of that either. Just some random Reddit thing I saw. I mean, technically, I think there's like one other way to make more ISK, but as far as investment-wise goes, like, this is significantly cheaper than that is. No, that's not entirely true. There are other ways that make more... Ooh, 49. There are other ways that make more ISK than this. Market is usually one of the big ones. Honestly, planetary interaction is so underdone. Please don't do it. I want to start that up again. And some other ones. But this is fun, and I just like how entertaining this one is. Like, a lot of other ones, especially ones that make you more ISK, God, it literally is the spreadsheets that we make fun of. Like, Rediva Spark Lance, let's 1-2 these, not flying towards that. So let's go over this way. Regroup, spark. And these two are going to go for the strikes. Because if there's more... So that's the other thing. Tier 4, if you have more Rodivas and more of these guys, sometimes they can get a few reps off, and it's a little harder to kill them. But not for this, it's not. Like, tier 4, you're just going to breeze through them. And even when there are more reps, it's just a couple more reps that they'll get. But you have a lot less to chew from. So you kill the DPS, there's nothing left to worry about. You kill the Rodivas, and then you just laugh to the bank. One and one. I think you're still on the first spark class. We're just going to go kill this and then the Rodivas. Point in fact. So I know when I was doing HyperNet, I had spreadsheets and strategies on how to do that. And I made a very large amount of ISK off that. I'm tempted to try to start that up again, but I'm not sure. Not sure if I want to go through that effort or not. I mean, realistically, I could just probably park one character and do it, 32. But as far as activist goes, this is pretty good. It's definitely supposed to be shooting some more guys when I was not. Stop trying to target the short-range deviant or short-range multispectral. This too far. Wait, where is that? All right, where's this? There we go. So that short range would kill these guys. However, I'm actually better off shooting them. Okay, Spark Lance. Oh, you're shooting the Spotlighter, so he's pretty well dead. Let's throw you on the Spark Lance as well then. Poisonous, how's it going tonight? Alright, so we've got two more of these guys, that guy. So I don't always kill the starving third, but I do like to... Well, right now I have two guys that are low on cap because of poor rolls. So I would really like the starving dead first. Well, not first, but you know what I mean. After the tangling. And I think there's an and. What was the and? I think it was mostly that. Like, yes, these guys get a couple reps, but at least we don't have to worry about those. Can I orbit this at 7,500? Might take a couple hits here, but as long as that tangling's dead, we should be fine. I mean, those are famous last words. I've definitely died saying stuff like that before, but, you know. I don't think I will this time. Also famous last words. So the other nice thing is at the end of these runs, when I look at what I've earned, it's largely what I've earned. Like, tier 6s, ooh, 36, very nice. That was actually a pretty good run. Tier 6s, it is minus 100 million off just for the filaments. So 68, 118, and 9, 127 million. And we'll give Kiki's after that. Oh, 117, close. Yeah, that's 10 to 117, there we go. Alright. And after that, the anchoring. Oh, goddamn speed cloud. Nobody loves you, speed cloud. That's what I was trying to avoid, though. Oh, it's because I'm going around the conduit. I meant to go around the wreck here. So, I mean, the nice thing about going around the conduit is it's a bigger radius that you go across because it is a bigger structure, right? So, 0 is like this far from it, this far from it, this far from it, this far from it, where the container is like this far is 0 and only that. So, it's another one of those things where 0 is not 0, but it's my favorite thing ever. Eva's kind of weird like that sometimes. Okay, you can, no, you were fine on that one. God damn it. Okay. So let's go to the, nope, approach the origin conduit. Shoot that guy and that guy. Reload these. And origin in 10.5 minutes again. Approach. 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 Open my 117 million. You, and you. Off that goes. Like every once in a while, I'll have to do a cap check on this guy. He's still got 9, which is what he started with, so he's fine on cap boosters. Can't activate this yet because I have to wait for this to go away. There we go. And grab you, and you, and you, and activate, activate, activate. And we still have 37 minutes almost to keep running. Scyllas, this is a fairly easy one. Let's orbit this at that. Regroup. Bring everybody in. Sentinels are the worst. None of those are newts. So as long as we kill the lucid sentinels, then all of the newts are dead. We will kill the lucids first and then not worry about the Scyllas afterwards. And we're going in pretty quick. Normally I wouldn't recommend going in this fast, but I definitely tank a lot worse than this in tier 6, so I'm not super concerned. One of the lucids is almost already dead. And there goes about 25% of their DPS. And there goes 100% of their newts. And 50% of the DPS. And I'm already not taking damage from the entire room. So we're good. This is now back into cleanup mode. Once we kill that one, we'll go grab the loot and get ready for the next room. These towers are somewhat concerning, though, with a 60% tracking bonus. But that gives bonus tracking, not bonus range. And they have negative range in here, which makes things easier. Move this over here. And there's no short range deviant, so that's the thing. 1-800-HELP, how you doing tonight? Okay, let's do that. Pew 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 pew. Oh crap! Oh no, I did 10.5 minutes. Oh, that's what I was doing differently. I usually go second, first, and third. There we go. Okay, let's open that, shoot that guy. He's pretty well dead at that point. 91 million. All right, well, that paid pretty good for that. And first room was done in about 2.5 minutes. One Rodiva, medium range multi-body, Spark Lance. So this is another Rodiva room. We're just going to dive on this, regroup, and we're going to kill anything with Lance in it first. It is a Spectrum Lance, so there are a bunch of different kinds. There is no webs in here. And one Rodiva is not going to be able to save these guys. Especially not if I go in this blue cloud. Okay, maybe he's saving this. Nope, that one's dead. Never mind. He is not, in fact, saving that one. Okay, let's approach there. Target that up. You can also grab the side caches if you want. It's kind of like salvaging to me. If it's worth it for you to do it, go ahead. If it's not worth it for you to do it, don't worry about it. It's technically ISK you've already earned, but it's also sometimes not all that much ISK, so it's fine. No, I use one computer with 3 monitors. These 2 are currently in potato mode, so they don't use up a whole lot of resources. I also have a decently good computer, but I used to do this on my slightly older computer, but it's honestly still easy enough to do. You can run potato mode on multiple computers very easily. 37 million. Already more than last run. And we just go over. We only have 3 spotlighters left, is essentially it. So we're about to go into the 3rd room. Nope, not that one. We are less than 5 minutes into the Abyssal, going into the last room. In Tier 4. And Leshix would be as another really, really quick room. These are Velas. Velas are pretty easy. We're going to orbit this at 7,500. Don't have that. Don't actually care about the tangling. We're just going to take out the harrowing. Where they're Velas and they're the drone boats, they don't remote rep the same as the other ones do, so you can split if you want to on this. Hey, Remy, how's it going? Contempo, thank you for the raid of 73 people. I super appreciate it. I hope you had a wonderful stream, but I know you did because I popped in earlier. So, for anyone coming in from Simon's stream, welcome. I'll finally be a good host, unlike normal, and shout him out right now instead of later. Contempo. He is a fantastic streamer. Please go watch him and learn all the stuff from him. Mostly does like exploration and I guess mining. No, he does a variety of stuff. He's a little more industrial than I am. My industry is like, oh, trig blueprints, go make in station, and that's about it. I say that, but I spent $4 billion, or I spent some time on a weekend once and mined them $4 billion worth of gas. 54 million there. That was a really good run, actually. That paid almost as much as some Tier 5s that I've run before. But that's the thing. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's a little less, and it works out pretty good that way. So these are Tier 4 darks. They are super, super easy. Everyone should be running 3 accounts in these. They're absolutely delightful, so please do that. Anyone coming in, hashtag Horde. I have a... That's not how you spell it. I have a Dragon's Horde currently going. I might do... Oh, Selmanus, thank you for the follow. If I missed any, I apologize. I'm kind of triple boxing. Okay, all your stuff is running. Good job. Everyone should run these 3 accounts all the time, and the easiest way to make ISK off these is to sell the higher tier filaments that drop that you don't want on the market because they're worth more. So you should totally do that, and make sure you sell all of your higher tier filaments. Don't hoard them in any kind of way. Make sure they get up on the market and that you get your ISK for them, because these filaments are very, very cheap to run. So you should totally run those. Yeah, everyone can run these. Everyone. And because they're tier 4, like you can make the ships a little cheaper than what mine are, so you can even run them even easier. Well, sorry, not easier, but a little less fast. But I don't know what you're talking about there, Booga. That has nothing to do with it. I'm more talking about selling the Tier 6 electrical and not the Tier 6 dark. But if you happened to sell all the Tier 6 dark, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Oh, shit. 8 minutes. Okay. Probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Okay, let's see what we got here. Fleet hanger over to here. Stack this stuff. 2, 3, 4, 5. 182 million in 8 minutes. So we're going into our 4th one this hour. We still have 28 minutes left on our boosters. We haven't overheated anything because we haven't needed to. And yeah. Yep. Time to get going. See, we're just printing Plex is all we're doing. So, Emberlast isn't too bad. So let's orbit this starting off at 25. Turn the stuff on. Orbit, and then we're going to kill the Emberlance. But yeah, everyone should definitely run whatever the highest tier 4 they can do. Or tier 3 or tier 2. But tier 4 is a really good spot that's really easy to do. And you can run it in Jackdaws, you can run it in Hawks, you can run it in Gilas. Actually, probably not Gilas. Maybe you want to go with, like, Cerberus or something. Okay, maybe I'm not familiar with missile cruisers, so you can run whatever the hell you want. Or you can run the other tier 4s in a Gila. That's alright, too. And just make sure you throw up all of your filaments for sale on the market, because you will get lots of Iskies for those. Especially the tier 6 ones that you don't want to run, right? See? Simon likes tier 4s. You should totally run tier 4s all of the time. And make sure you sell your tier 6 filaments to other people who are less fortunate and aren't really able to run tier 4s that well. And yes, do that. Think of the poor tier 6 runners. Does serve it? So there's something they can do tier 5 at least for missile boats, isn't there? For cruiser? I don't follow it all that much, but I know that the Abyssal Lurkers channel, I'm sure, has something for it. And there's still 5 of these guys left. You definitely need to turn more. Server can do 41. I meant dark specifically, though, but Gila can't run darks because the drones lose their tracking, or lose their optimal range. Like 50-70%, so. Activate gate. Okay, a couple deep watchers, medium range deviant. I don't think I like the placement on this, but that's all right. 1, 2. You're going to shoot the not deep watchers. You guys are going to shoot the deep watchers. So for this, I run Hawks. You can also run Jackdaws or a missile T2 missile assault ship cruiser. I don't have fits for the cruiser. I do have fits for the Jackdaws and the Hawks. 1 second here. 44 million. Okay, let's try that. We'll see what happens. Okay, everyone's shooting. Good job, everyone. So in this case, my Hawks are about 500 million each, but you could easily run these with 250 million Hawks and not have any problems. The upgrades for my Hawks are essentially just the ballistic control units to give them more DPS. And I'm using about 30 mil in boosters an hour. You don't need to use the Pyrolancia and the hard shell. Well, honestly, you're going to use the hard shell anyway. Hard shell's not that expensive. 2.6 million. Yeah, use the hard shell. If it saves your tank, it's definitely worth using. But look at how quickly I'm killing these. 10.5 minutes and 8 minutes. That's overkill. But you can run them that much faster. If you can get an extra run in, maybe it's worth it to you. You probably only need the blue pills and the crash. Actually, you probably don't even need the crash. But again, the crash is cheap. So, yeah. Oh, no. I survived tier 6 tier 6 angel rooms with these hawks. So I promise you tier 4 angel rooms aren't even close to a death room. Yeah, I mean, these guys really don't have lots for implants either. That's the nice thing about them. I'm not running crystal sets, that's for damn sure. I run 3% of light missiles and rapid missiles, so 3% faster, 3% more damage. And you can also run the 3% cap and 3% cap. So I think it's max cap and cap recharge rate. But it's not really a requirement. It just makes it so you have that space in capacitor. Okay, everyone is shooting, and that's medium range deviant. We're fine. Now let's approach this gate. He should be dead by the time I get there. They don't have structure. No structure resists. Triple Hawk does not. So my Triple Hawk does not have a death room. Other people's Triple Hawks. So the one that had a death room that was popular was 2 Hawks and a bomber. I haven't really seen anyone run that in a while. But, yeah, I don't have death rooms. Now, it's not an easy room, and I can die in it. But it's by no means a guaranteed death. And in Tier 4, it's very, like, that's probably not what's going to kill me. It's probably going to be some other bulk, like, stupid room that happens in these that wrecks me. It's very unlikely to be an angel room. Angel rooms can still be challenging, don't get me wrong. Don't underestimate them. Don't fly in the middle of the angels. However, they're not likely to kill me. However, something like the battlecruiser room, and they have all kinds of clouds, and you're in the middle of a short-range deviant tower, and there's a whole bunch of webs. Stuff like that can kill you, and there's not necessarily a lot you can do about it, which is why I don't like blinging these up too much. 500 million, you know what? Look, I've already made 350 million, 300 million after boosters, but for the entire hour. So one of the ships is almost paid for. And again, I could run cheaper. There's lots of things I could do. This is just the set of ships I like. 57 million. Approach there. Approach there. Approach there. This is, yeah, that's the origin conduit. Look at that. This is another sub 10 one. So we're looking at 8.5 minutes on this one. Shit, I missed something then. I missed one of those. That's okay, we can math it. Or did I just not loot it? That's happened before. No, I definitely looted it. We're good. Alright, so approach there, approach there, approach there. So that's what, 98? No, yeah, 98. Stack. 4, 5, 144, so 46. And let's see which way it does this. Oh, it actually did it that way. Cool. Jackdaws. So, what do you mean by death rooms? Because, I mean, ships die in the abyss. For example, I'll use the Gila for an example. They don't die in the abyss because it's a death room. They die in the abyss because of bad piloting, usually. Or extremely bad luck. One of the two. Hey, Co-Jesus, how's it going? But it's not typically because death room. Like, okay, nobody loves the short-range deviants. So, for example, there's some blue clouds and a tracking tower. Don't fly in the blue clouds with a tracking tower. That's going to kill you, right? So, I mean, I can't answer that question directly. I have thoughts that I'm not sure about yet, but yes. Not in tier 4s for me, there's not. Like I said, so there is a chance that you might run into a room that you cannot survive. Absolutely, based on the ship fit. So, I mean, some ships just cannot do the angel room at all. And that has been a thing for ages. A streamer named Lowput used to run these, and he did a fantastic job. I believe he was an AT streamer, actually. Or AT streamer. Technically, I guess AT streamer, but he was an Alliance tournament competitor. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And he ran the Abyss, and he came up with a fit that was 2 Hawks and a bomber that ran, I think, about 150 million. But the thing is they could make 450 million in a successful run. But they would die 50-50 to a Vedmak room, and they would die 100% to an Angel room. My fit is nowhere near his fit. My fit can tank the Angel room, and the Vedmak room is an easy room for me. So, where he had a fit that could not run the Angel room under any circumstances except the most extreme of luck, and that's a different story. I've come up with a couple, low chance of survival things that would probably have worked for that fit, but that was after the whole idea of that finished. It's beside the point. It involves speed clouds. It is extremely dangerous. But yeah, his could not do it. But things have changed a lot since then. That was at the very start of Frigate Abyssals, and when Angels initially became a thing. People have min-maxed a lot of stuff since then. But I wants it. But I'll be smart about it. So you could probably dual box these. I mean, look at with the speeds I'm doing them, you should be able to. But if you hit an Angel room, it's actually going to be a challenging Angel room with 2. Okay, that will hopefully be... Yeah, that should be dead. Okay, what am I saying? It's got like a sliver of health. Okay, shoot that, reload, reload, approach that, open that, approach that, reload this guy. Open again for 18 million, some are less than others. And off we go into the second room. Now, this one took a little longer, but it was still only 5 minutes. Because there's a big, old, beefy, tanky room. There's nobody allows. God damn it. Okay, so fortunately, this is not in any terrible, terrible kind of path. Let's shoot you. We're going to shoot the webs first. Does help if I make those guys regroup. Crap, I messed that up. We are not going to just go back and grab it. That could potentially kill us, but we can wheel around and grab it. Where'd it go? There it is. And if you go to YouTube, I've uploaded a lot of my past videos. It's real easy to see the higher tier ones that I run, and I generally don't have any huge issues. Now, disclaimer, I make this look very easy. It can be more challenging than this to a lot of people. I make it look easy because I have run it so much. I know every little thing about all the little ships that are annoying. I know most of the things about different configurations to watch out for. So I do stupid stuff less often. And it's the stupid stuff that gets you killed. Like, probably 50% of my deaths are stupid stuff. The other 50% are angels. And the other 10%, which makes no sense because that's 110%, is just really, really bad luck in the Abyss. Now, I have had some losses in Tier 6. However, I got back out, and if I get back out, then that means I'm recovering things like my ballistic controls, potentially my shield boosters, and other mods that I have on here. So replacing the ship gets a lot cheaper when you can do that. And like I said, you're probably 2-box most of these, so you can absolutely, like, 3 makes it easier, but if you did happen to lose one to bad luck, you still have a solid chance of getting back out. Like, it's not the end just because you lose a ship in Tier 4. If you lose a ship in Tier 6, actually Tier 5 is actually almost doable, as long as you don't lose it at the very start of the first room. Tier 6, depending on the second room, you're screwed right from the get-go. You don't have the DPS to finish it. Ooh, look at this. This will be fun. Hashtag YOLO. So let's approach here. Drainer Marshal, Arrestor Pacifier. Drainer Marshals are the worst. Ah, that killed it. Attacker, Drainer, Marker, Enforcer, and Stormbringer. This is going to be a very quick room. So, I mean, it also... So, how many skill points do you have? Because one of the things that definitely makes a huge difference in here is I have about the max amount of skill points for every single skill that I'm trying to do. And needless to say, all those little 1s and 2s and 3% add up. So 72 million. And they add up real quick. Drainer, Stormbringer. Pacifier. So if I can run this in 10 minutes, but you're missing 20% DPS and 30% tank, you're going to have a whole lot harder of a time than I am. Now, that being said, if you have a well-trained tank character who is leading, in tier 4s, you can go with subpar DPS. You don't need max DPS and max tank for every single person. I used to run people through these all of the time. They do need to have basic skills. They do need to have tier 2 missiles. They do need to have tier 2 shield skills. But they don't need 5 in every single thing. So that one was 11 minutes, we'll say. No! Undo. Undo. No. No. Undo. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Okay, that, it'll still be on the VOD, that's alright. 72 million, drag over there. 6th. Close that up. Everyone is reloaded, we're good there. We're going to go for a 6th one. Now, this will take me over the 60-minute mark. However, I also still have almost 7 minutes left of my boosters, and technically I don't actually need boosters for these, but it does make running them safer and quicker, so I usually go with them. That is an awful lot of those guys. Blue Cloud. Okay, ghosting. Let's go for the tangling first. I think I got the wrong character targeted by these guys. Yep, that would be you. Two, 2, and 2. There's the blue cloud. We're going to jettison this. If you don't have an anchor, make your own sometimes. Orbit at 1,000. Might be a little too close to the edge for what I want. And then we're going to go for this huge mass of ghosting. I forgot to do that, but I will do that for you guys. This is... well, I was going to say it's a little on the dangerous side, but if I'm not in the damn blue cloud, it's not. Hey, good speed, how's it going? Let's try that again. God damn it, I'm still not in the stupid cloud. So, if you weren't aware, the clouds can be annoying. Just stopping at this point. Don't recommend stopping. However, in darks, you can sometimes get away with it. And we're going to go 6 on that guy, and then we're just going to target these two up like that. Also, these guys aren't stopping, it's just my tank is stopping. Okay, so we've got 2 anchoring. Let's go for those after. So you don't need to run a watch list unless it helps you pay attention to which of your guys is getting shot at. I like to have a watch list to avoid some other things. Woo! Hey Spectre, how's it going? Why is it saying that's your first time chatting in here? It certainly goddamn isn't. Okay, you shoot the ghosting. We're going to finish off the anchoring that I didn't actually mean to shoot. It's like, I recognize that name. What the hell's going on here? Did you delete your old account or something? Alright, these two are going to work on the striking. I probably shouldn't split them up, but we're in a blue cloud, so all these guys are going to take a ton of damage. And you're going to work on the spark needles for now. I like how you said that. I don't believe so. I don't really know for sure, but I don't like so. Okay, so now that we've got 44... No, now that we're almost done, as opposed to fly that 44 the last little bit, we're going to start heading towards the biocache now. I mean, that's fair. I've met my streamer mind as well, so I can't really argue with that. Probably not going to be able to stream next week. I'm going on a little bit of a trip. It's not a long trip, though. It's only a week, so I should be able to stream after that. Open that. 36 million. I lost a couple of my things there earlier, but you can always look them up in the VODs, or, well, you'll also see how much I get at the end of the hour as well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have as much time for the last room. I was hoping to have a little bit of boosters for the last room, but it does not look like it. Depending on what it is, we may pop boosters, but we'll see. Right? Oh, of course we're going to get this one. 1 and 2. So here's that dreaded angel room we were talking about, right? This guy moves first. Everybody aggroes him. We shoot the Lucifer. You can't shoot yet because of range. Now you can. Then we shoot the elite. Now keep in mind, so there's 3 Dramiels, which is kind of annoying, but because there's only 2 Lucifers, if you ever start shooting, it shouldn't be an issue. We still have my ADC. I can pop a cap booster, but my cap isn't going down all that much. I still have my ADC. I didn't overheat my shield hardener, which I could do. It's a tier 4. It's not that bad. We're going to start targeting up the Furies, the Echoes, and the Dramiels. Cat booster. Cat booster. He is shooting this guy now, which is Phalanx. Still lots of shield. Cinnables are dead. That's the hard part right there. I'm turning my afterburner off so that I can focus these guys down and not outrange my own dudes. So right now, if I had the AB on, he'd be going pretty quick. He's 271 and has 1 web on him. This guy has 2 webs on him. This guy has 1 web on him. So this guy would fall behind. These 2 would stay up. Once, if there's too big of a distance between these, then the missiles stop hitting properly. And we don't want that. We want the missiles to hit. So that's why we slow things down. Now, my boosters are ending, which is funny because that means these guys don't have cap issues anymore like they did 10 seconds ago, because the issues with the cap boosters are now gone. We're going to turn that back on because now one web left, but he's webbed. We're within 36 of the biocache. 2 webs left. Still within 36 of the biocache. Just frigates left. So it means we can't outrange everyone because we're within that 47. Should have killed that burst. Nobody loves you, burst. Sniper Chris, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate that, buddy. We'll be taking a break in a minute, but still. Look, I'm going to be good again and shout out at... Look, I'm on top of things. Sorry if I missed follows and stuff. I'm still getting in the loop of doing all this and whatnot. It's been a bit of a hot minute, so I don't have the best setup yet, but I'm working towards it. Approach there, shoot sword spine. And we're going into the last room with no boosters currently on. If I get a scary ass angel room that I'm concerned about, all I have to do is right click consume and I will have it. So what I like to do is I bring up my inventory screens there, my cargo, and just in case I have everyone target all of the stuff in case I need to use it. But really, angels is the only thing I would need to with multiple. Oh, this is a DPS race. This is not an issue for sure. So let's go there. Don't even care that it's in a big old blue cloud. You're going to shoot these guys first, 1 and 2 on the Lucids. You definitely target them in the wrong order. You're going to open that. Shoot 1. Shoot 1. You're shooting. Good job. 38 million. So that works out to 101. Now I'm going to round down when I get out of here. This is going to be a little over an hour, but it's my first hour. Also, for anyone, actually, we can get that started up in a sec, especially with this room. Where is my cursor? Can't see my cursor. All right. You're shooting. Good job, you. Lancer next. Let's go over to here. The Horde is open. Please enter the Horde draw, and let's create the hourly draw. Hashtag Horde to enter the Horde. Hashtag hourly. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. It is now open. Please join that draw. All you have to do is type hashtag Horde, hashtag hourly, and you are good. Oh, I'm screwing that up, aren't I? No, I'm not. Thought that there was a short-range deviant here. You're shooting. Why are? Oh no, you're just looking at something. Okay, cool. So orbiting that, shooting. Don't care about the medium deviant. We're good. So hashtag hourly, hashtag Horde. Get into those draws. We'll do the hourly in about 5 minutes after I take a washroom break. So I'll finish off these guys. I'll take a washroom break, and then I'll continue running for another couple more hours. And we do the Horde at the end of the night. You do not have to be here to win it. You just have to enter it and you're good. So I lost my 3rd and 4th runs in here. I selected more and there was no undo button when I got rid of it. But I will have the how much I made in the hour in a moment. Nice. That'll happen sometimes. Okay, so again, these guys don't have any armor resist, or sorry, structure resist. They do have armor resist, but once you get them into structure, they die pretty quick. You want to keep moving for these guys, but they still don't hit particularly hard. So if you go to the gate, like just approach the gate when they're partway through armor, then you're fine. Time on that was a little longer, 12 minutes. Well, let's approach here. These two are going to dock up. Dock. Open fleet hangar. Stack that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 101. So in an hour of running these, 667 million-esque. Now, I got 6 in an hour. That is pretty good. Not always going to get that. But it is definitely a nice start. Okay, I didn't overheat anyone, so I don't need to do that. All I need is 2,400 missiles. For reference, 2,400 missiles costs 200,000 disc. So I can't say I'm particularly concerned about that. Oh, I do need more Raging Darks, though. And Raging Dark filaments are less than 1 million each. So I used 18, so minus, what did I save for that? U, and U. So minus 40 mil for boosters. Minus 18 mil for filaments. And I made 600 mil profit in an hour. Like, T4 darks are dirt cheap. So it's really not a huge concern. So second hour, we will get to that. You need 2,000 Scourge. Also, that's another thing. There is something missing in that too, which I usually mention every once in a while. And I don't think I get quite as many in this, but I do still get some, so it is definitely worth mentioning. Stack that. 400s. 3 of those. And just let me go over to this character. So, Leshik Blueprint. Veli's Heavy. What are these worth? Veli's Heavy is... No. Contract type. Want to sell. Search. So, the Veli's Heavy is 20 million. Leshik is 5 million. I'll usually sell these as like a bundle to someone. For whatever, if they want it. What the hell? Alright, Eve Appraisal. Eve Market. Glorified Unstable. 500 MN. Well then. So yeah, so that just made it so that you could, so it's close to somewhere between 1.2 to 2.4 billion for that hour. I forgot about those. I did not notice that drop. So Solo Korax with right fitting should be able to run tier 1. I couldn't tell you exactly how often it would do well. If you can run a Jackdaw, if you have max skills and you know what you're doing, can run tier 3 regularly with no real issues. However, expires now. Okay, we're good. However, again, there is the things that get you sometimes, and there's not a ton you can do about it. So enter #hourly, #hort. I will be back in about 5 minutes. Just taking a quick washroom break and leaving you with a quick ad break. If you're subbed, you don't get it. I'll be back. Yeah, so I just had a 1.2 to 2.4 billion ISK hour. That's not so bad, right? Alpha. So I don't deal with a 2 seconds, 1 second. There we go. Ad break complete. I don't deal with a lot of the lower tier abysses that much. I deal with the higher tier, so unfortunately I don't have a lot for you. Gila would be the easiest one to run tier 4s, and I'm pretty sure you can do that as an alpha. Definitely tier 3s as an alpha. Alright, stack, undock, undock, undock. You should be empty. Yep, undock. For that blueprint. That's the stuff that you really hope to see, but doesn't drop all that often for you. And it's one that people want, is the other thing. Close that. That stuff's good there. Let's go here, and then let's pop over to this. Over to... Let me take a quick look at Chaos. Oh, wait, no, that's 4 days ago. I'm like, what? I got a shout out from Chaos? Yeah, that was a little bit ago. That was when I was visiting him. But also with, well, if you're running in higher areas, you shouldn't have any major issues with the Gila, but you do still have to be careful with getting ganked, right? Alright, so let's go giveaways. Hourly. We are going to close the hourly. Announce that the hourly is closed. Okay, that worked. Yeah, perfect. And we're going to draw the winner of the hourly, which is 1-800-HELP. Congratulations on winning yourself 50 million ISK. Did I even say how much the draw was goddamn for? Probably not. It's 50 million ISK. IGS paste. Let's copy that. Paste. Autolink character. God damn it. Looks like the... Oh, yeah, there's the extra dash in there, so it's that one. And give 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Transfer successful. Good job, me. So that's another thing with my streams. Yes, you can hit that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I will give it to you if you win regardless. You don't have to be here for the draws. If you enter the draws and you win the draws. And I had started that for a couple different reasons. But the main one was I used to charge points once upon a time when I first started up. And I didn't find it fair that people would have to spend points to join. And then if they left, those points would be gone, but they wouldn't win if they weren't here. I didn't like that, so that's not how I run mine. So, I do everything I can to get you that ISK. So, there are two things that might stop you from getting it. One, if you don't allow PMs and your name's not in the bot, and what was the other thing? There's one more, technically. I don't think that works like that anymore. We're just going to give this a second. Don't accept whispers, and your name's not in the bot. I don't know your in-game name to be able to send you the ISK. So that's generally the only way that you don't get it, is if I have no way of telling you that you have won it. So, but if I can send you a PM... Oh, or you don't respond to the PM. That was it. Because if I don't have your name, I don't have your name. I can't give it to you. But otherwise, I try my bestest. Oh, you're fine. I'm just saying other people, right? Most people don't have PMs blocked on Twitch, but some do. So frigate room, super fast room. They took a little bit of damage from that short range deviant at the start. We don't, so we like it, but we don't like it. 13. Because it does destroy our missiles, so we don't want to be super close to it. But if it's destroying our missiles, it's definitely destroying their frigates, so it's not so bad. So the rooms in here generally go between 2 and 5 minutes. Tier 4, I don't typically get anything longer than 5. And that's about as short as it can possibly... Well, it can technically be a little shorter, but that's generally how short it is 240. So, Drainer, attacker. Somebody's going to have to kill that pacifier. We don't like blue clouds. Let's go this way. Regroup. Drainer. Arrestor pacifier. Marshal. We should be good there. Blue clouds really, really bad. Stay away from blue clouds. If you don't need to, so where I have 2 drainer marshals, I don't want to pop my cat booster unless I have to. Don't have to just yet. Ooh, I do have to get closer to them though. Things are still going. Don't need to quite pop it yet. Okay, I'm going to pop it now because that drainer should about be dead, and there's still another one. Son of a bitch. Oh, right, I killed that guy. That's why. Son of a bitch. That's alright. I think we can still get this one and hopefully not have to hit another cat booster. So, what do we got left? You, and you are the bigger ones to worry about. And honestly, you're not that bad. So let's get the other marshal so he doesn't have a chance to repair. We'll target the Skybreaker and the Stormbringer. Get ready for those. Yeah, that's the thing too, right? Okay, pacifier. Gonna put the other 2 on the Stormbreaker, or Skybreaker rather. And with any luck, one of these 2 will shoot me and destroy the cache for me, so I don't have to worry about it. I can just approach it. If you're flying that, just be aware that if you're orbiting like I currently am, you will start flying off in a random direction when that gets destroyed. So just be aware of that is all. There we go. Open that. Those 2 are shooting already, so you can shoot that. Flying off in random directions is not the best thing. 14 million, so nothing special in this one so far. Rodiva Blueprint isn't worth a whole lot. These are not particularly... Oh, actually, this is a few million here. 1 to 5? I can't remember exactly. Stormbringer is shield tank, so once it is out of shield, it dies quickly. So we're going into the last room. We still have 14.5 minutes left. Pretty well. Alright, so go through the room. This is a Cinnabol room. Although there is 1 Cinnabol. It's an elite Cinnabol, but there is still 1 Cinnabol. Unlucky. Thank you, Mr. Unlucky, for the raid. I super appreciate it. Give me 1 second. I'll give you a shout out. I'm just working on a small Cinnabol room here. These are just tier 4s. I'm taking it easy tonight. You should all run tier 4s. It is tons of ISK. Look, I made like 1.2 to 2.4 billion in the first hour just running tier 4s. I got a lucky blueprint drop, and that does happen sometimes, so you should absolutely run those. Don't run anything higher. Make sure you sell all of your tier 6 filaments to people on the market. Because they definitely need them. They're short on them. But you want to run the easy tier 4s that drop all of the good ISK for none of the difficulty. Make sure you do that all of the time. At Mr. Unlucky. There you go, buddy. How was your stream? What'd you get up to tonight? Oh, you do have the elites targeted, so let's go for that. We're already close to the cache, and nobody is super far away, so we don't have to worry about people wandering off. You can target the echoes. There's no fury, so there's no newts left. We're good there. You're supposed to be shooting, though. That's a fault of your own. And as you can see, like, people's shields will drop a small bit, but a rep and then they're back up. So don't need overheat or anything. We're fine on that. That was... I usually run harder tiers, so that was a very nice, easy angel room. Didn't overheat. So Normally, the first thing you want to do coming into something like this, especially if you're a bit newer, you want to overheat your shield hardener. You can overheat that thing for days, and it makes a huge difference. 71 million. Stuff like that will save you more often than not. Yeah, focus fire that, and we'll leave the Medusa for a second here. $98 million. For anyone just coming in as well, please join the Dragon's Horde draw for the end of the evening. Type hashtag Horde. You do not have to be here to win it. If you win it, now it involves picking a number between 1 and 50. However, we will pick that number for you, so don't feel bad about that. No, time. 9 minutes. So about 100 million ISK in 9 minutes. So let's open Fleet Hangar. Glorified Decayed really isn't worth anything. I usually sell my blueprints at a bit of a discount. If you are ever interested in purchasing some blueprints, let me know. Been slacking lately, but that's alright too. Two. That was 9 minutes. Alright, this one's kind of annoying. Short range deviant does not help us. If it was medium range deviant, it would for this one, because it would kill those Teslas. And, like, it wouldn't kill them, but it would bring them down. And that would make it so that we would have to do less damage to the rest of these guys. I dislike the starving, so I'm going to kill them first. Also, there's no tangling, so that kind of helps. I almost want to kill... I didn't even check that. What the hell? Okay, no negatives on you. Your cap's fine. Explosion velocity, so you hit frigates less. Shield capacity, so you've less shield. For this, that's all perfectly fine. I don't like it when I get two minuses to shield explosion. I do less damage to frigates when that happens, and rooms like this can become quite a bit longer. You can use blue clouds to speed them up, but you have to be careful with that too. So for example, before when I had only frigates, I went into the blue cloud and I kind of stopped and orbited something. This time I'm going to go in, but instead of stopping and orbiting, I'm going to keep flying. And the Fedmac will hit me a little bit more, but he shouldn't be able to kill me. And if he starts becoming a nuisance, then I can fly somewhere else. But when he's dead, then I can focus fire everything else down, and they will die pretty quick. I'm not even in the blue cloud yet either. Now, when he's dead, I can absolutely just take this, or even near dead, like near to the point where I don't feel like he's going to kill me, which is kind of now. I can jettison that, orbit that at 1,000, and I have an ADC if it comes to it. Should not come to it, but I have my oh shit button if I need it. And the last newt and the biggest DPS is dead. There we go. Were you not shooting? 42, 28, probably not. God damn it. Striking. Pretty sure that guy was not shooting. I also have terrible things you can do in these, but we'll save those for another day. It involves using the edge and is extremely dangerous and not recommended. target those, you target these, you target somewhere in the middle. And we're going to approach here. Now we're not going to immediately be out of the cloud, so we should be able to get some hits on these guys while they're in the cloud, and they'll die faster, but we'll make our way out. Sorry for missing follows and stuff. Like I said, I'm still adjusting to getting back to streaming. I had about a 10-month break, and I know a lot of people who've played EVE who have breaks over the years, but we tend to come back because we're suckers. I mean suckers. We're definitely suckers. But we enjoy this type of game that is terrible and fun to us and so damn grindy. But it is definitely what we like. 19 million in that one. Reload. We're just leaving a missile behind. That's fine. And activate gate on all three. Now that room did take a little bit longer. That was close to 5 minutes. Vedmac rooms can be like that. Charybdis rooms can be like that. So this is going to be a longer one in general. We're going to stay away from that short range. Does not look like speed clouds in that in this direction. So let's go. Damn it! I really want that. So let's go this direction. There's actually only the one web. One web. Let's shoot that and that and that, and we're going to go for the Charybdis next. And this is kind of dangerous. I don't recommend what I'm currently doing. However, I'm crazy. So 26 million. We're going to keep moving. We're going to shoot that. We're going to shoot that. Shoot that. Then we're going to target everything else up. But now all we have to do is play don't fly directly at the Charybdis and stay away from blue clouds and tracking towers and mostly that. Now, Jackdaws, you do have to be a little bit more careful. You have a larger signature radius when you're not in defensive mode. So you either want to go in defensive mode or you want to try to outrange them. Tier 4s you should be fine, but tier 5s and 6s, they can hit you pretty hard. So you just have to be aware of that and be careful. You're better off kiting them and trying to stay in that 42 to 40. No, actually, they have a bigger range. But if you have a larger distance for your missiles, then you can hit them from further away, and they cannot hit you, which is the main thing. So again, just be aware of where this guy is, and do not fly towards him. Keep your speed up. Don't like double click in this direction and stop your ship when he's shooting at you. Also, that would also make your other guys turn around at a bad angle. Not as bad as you, but still. Don't do stuff like that, and you'll generally be fine. Okay, now that he's dead, we can just order this. We've been taking these 5 guys easily enough anyway. Alright, that one's down. At this point in time, we can just approach the transfer conduit and be fine. But yeah, that was that was with 2 longer rooms, and I still have 12.5 minutes left. So probably 12 by the time I'm done this for the last room. Worlds of time. Not 9 minutes, but still not very long. Alright, reload, reload, and reload. And going into the last room. That is correct. You absolutely win EVE by quitting. We have a short-range deviant. That's a lot of spark lance, though. Alright, so let's just not fly that way. Blue cloud? No easy located blue cloud? No. Okay, let's go this way. This is not my favorite room. Honestly, my favorite room is like 2 or 3 closely packed medium deviants for this. Because they just die. It's fantastic. Yeah, unfortunately, like 10-month breaks don't count for quitting Eve, but that's not winning unless you actually fully quit forever. So it's kind of unfortunate. Breaks are just a thing. Of course, I also... Damn it. I think that was 17 million I said. $45, 26 mil. Shoot that guy, shoot that guy. We still have some spark lances left. And some snare casters. So these guys you have to be careful with. See, look, that's what I'm talking about right there. They can do damage. So in tier 6s, or tier 5s even, you do not want to underestimate these guys. So for example, one thing that can be absolutely goddamn terrifying is getting a speed cloud into a large group of these guys, and then you fall out of the speed cloud before you can turn around. So you are almost on top of them, and they have 4 snare casters. Even in, like, that's the kind of random that will get you killed in tier 5, tier 6. That is not angels. 36 million and a glorified decayed, so 36 million. So that's what? 62, 81 million? That's not bad. Right, now he gets to play all the Eve he wants to. Or they want to? Did you specify? He, yeah. All the Eve he wants to. Actually, I'm in the process of sucking back one of my friends, so... He's like, damn it, I haven't thought about playing Eve in like 20 years, Loki, thanks. Now we've been talking about it, and it's like, now I kind of want to. It's like, you're welcome. $11 minutes. So even, well, it was a nice quick last room, so that helped even it out a bit. $82. All right, can up that by 1. It's because of rounding estimates and whatnot. And this will mark about the halfway point of the stream. Drac, 1 starving. So I'm going to kill the starving first. You don't have to in this particular instance. I think that should be fine. We're going to start with a big orbit. We're going to kill that starving. Not because you need to kill the starving, I just dislike the starving out. If you kill the starving, you don't have to worry about micromanaging your cap. Tangling would be the first target in here. Then the starving is an optional, and then Dracovics are the one after that. Ideally, you want to try to kill Dracovics while they still have less armor, but still. Now that those guys are dead, we're going to bring this in actually quite a bit because we don't want to outrange these guys. Kiki's next. For my friend, absolutely. Talking about Kerbal Space Program, talked a lot about the Abyss, talked about Abyssal loot that you get. It's like, come back. So he played when Alpha wasn't a thing, where you couldn't play your account for free, but the fact that you can play an Alpha account for free is a pretty big thing for some people, especially casual. He's got kids, so like when he has his kids, he won't be playing Eve all that much, but in his more spare time, he probably would. Oh no, they absolutely haven't. 40 million, in my opinion, anyway. What makes you say they've given them too much? I'm kind of curious. Okay, we can approach the transfer conduit now. Like, what part of it is too much? So, I mean, if you fit a Gila right, you can probably run some 6 or higher out of 10s. That's absolutely true. However, you still have less damage than an Omega. Honestly, if you're running 6 out of 10s, you can afford Omega very easily. You don't need to be doing that. Blast Grip, Snarecaster, Field Weavers, Medium Deviant. Let's orbit this for a moment. Regroup. We're going to kill that Snarecaster. We are going to move back over the... where's this thing? Yeah, we'll move over this way. You work on these. You're going to kill that Blast Grip. So here's the thing, is they try to restrict a lot more of the more AFK kind of things that alphas can do. And they try to less restrict the more active things that alphas can do. So DED sites, it's not guaranteed that you're going to find one. It's not guaranteed you're going to find one that you get to run on your own. Why would you do that, Azoth? Azoth, don't make me stinking... Stop distracting me, son of a bitch. Oh. Gonna time you out. Tell me it was a short timeout. No, we're not timing you out for 10 minutes. Unban? There we go. No political stuff, come on. It is way too easy to make way too many comments about political stuff. We're gonna stay away from that one. Especially as a Canadian, thank you. Okay, so strike. There's only Strike Grip Tezra, so I guess there's no point in me looking and being like, oh, you're shooting a Strike Grip, because y'all are. God damn it. So you guys are over there. Is untime out a thing? Untime. Oh, it is. What do you know? Okay, that's very convenient then. So many things. So many things. But I mean, that's a good example. You're not wrong. That one's at least a little less charged and a little less political. 18 million. But please don't make it competition. Alright, we're going to swing around this way. These guys are more shield tanked, not armor tanked. And these guys hit like trucks. You really want range on these, like plus 20 kilometers at all times. More 10 in here, but I mean, we've got 47 kilometers range on our missiles, so we're kind of good on that. But if you get close to 3 of them, they're going to murder your face. You don't want to be having your face murdered. Don't do that. Okay, so let's approach this. We're going to shoot that. We're going to go 1, 2. You are going to kill these guys. And if anyone... Oh, apparently we're shooting 2 first. And if you wonder why we're going to kill those guys with this guy has less DPS. So him switching targets is less DPS lost. If you want the math on that, I can totally do that, but I don't want to. But I will. 43 million. 101 million. Regroup those guys, shoot that guy. So what it is if this guy can kill a dude but hits for 1,200, and this guy can kill a dude but hits for 1,000, then something. No, he clips off more of his DPS than the last shot is all it is. So I prefer to use my lower DPS guys to kill the smaller guys, and my bigger DPS guys to full send into the tankier guys. I mean, the Abyss is it's a busy place, and there's usually a lot going on, and it's far more goddamn random than a lot of other things. Next to PvP, obviously PvP is probably the king, but depending on what you're watching, it can take a while to find those PvP fights too, even in faction warfare. And depending on how you do those PvP fights, some people will be avoiding them and don't want to fight you, so that makes it much more difficult. That and so one of my friends, Uncle Online, what did he change? Does anyone know what Uncle changed his name to? I can't remember specifically. But apparently he changed his Twitch name. But anyway, somebody might say in chat there. And he's my just average man. Oh, God, Uncle. Anyway. So, once upon a time, he was streaming, and his numbers seemed a little lower to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just an off day. Maybe it was a couple off days. I don't know. Whatever. But he was streaming PvP, and he was PvPing in a cloaky Loki. And that's cool and all, but if you're not taking fights, because you might lose or you think you'll lose, and you don't get into fights all that often, and all you're doing is, like, ganking people, yes, you're getting in fights, and you're getting kills, but it's goddamn boring. It's not that interesting. Now, if you go into a 4v1, you being the 1 and the other people being the 4, and you kill one other dude, I'm going to say that was 11 minutes, I'm not 100% sure, then that's interesting. Like, you got to kill a dude in a 4v1, good goddamn job on you. And, but it's not. That's not necessarily. So this is an opinion. An opinion. I have a different definition of what ganking is. Ganking to me is taking some ships in a high sec and shooting somebody and having Concord kill you. That's ganking. Now, there's also many forms of cheesy PvP. Also, not the greatest content in my opinion. Solo, so there's nothing wrong with group PvP either. Gate camps can be interesting if you're not running away all the time. You're taking fights. That's perfectly cool. Blast grips, not that. Medium deviant. Right over there. Let's go this way. It is a matter of opinion thing on what you like to watch and whatnot still too, but solo faction warfare is generally pretty good PvP. No, you were jumped. It's not ganked. In my opinion. We're also a lot of different opinions, right? That is legitimate PvP. However, yeah, like, take any of the things that are inappropriate and you got absolutely destroyed by somebody else. That's what happened to you. However, because it's low sec in a PvP no police response area, gate guns don't count. It is not technically you being ganked. You were definitely unfairly PvP'd. That's not a question. However, generally I consider fair fights in PvE, meaning that somebody has done something wrong. Because there shouldn't be technically, there shouldn't be fair fights in PvP. You're supposed to set it up so that you have unfair fights that are in favor of you winning. And you can do that in solo. It's just really hard to do in solo PvP. And the solo PvP variation of that is, for example, let's say you make a Merlin, and you say, actually Merlin is a terrible example. Let's go Hookbill instead. And it will take fights from every single engagement with a Amarian character, because the Amarian character is lasers, and lasers do a specific damage type that you have made your ship to be against. So a Hookbill against an Amar ship, where you have stacked your EM and your thermal resists, you have a much better chance of winning. However, there's a lot of things you're going to lose against. But you try not to take those fights. But you can still solo PvP that way. $14 million there. Actually, I had heard about those. Where was that? Sec approach there. So, I mean, people also use different excuses for how they PvP, like the wellness check thing, or where was that? Yeah, the wellness check in high sec thing. It's like, that's just an excuse to gank people. That's not really a thing. Like, oh, actually, we are going to orbit this at 7,500 and regroup. Just call it what it is if that's what you're doing. If you're ganking people, just say you're ganking people. Don't beat around the goddamn bush. You are allowed to do whatever kind of content you want. Oh, shit. That is a problem. You move first. Oh, you were not supposed to move first. So this guy's in a little bit of trouble. He's semi-okay now, as long as that cat booster gets back, which is not currently, but he's overheated his, what you call it there? Orbit that at 7,500, regroup. Cat booster back on, overheat this again. He should be fine. So, again, tier 4s should not kill me. I did something stupid. Don't do something stupid. Okay, he is fine now. I'm turning off the overheat. I've actually taken no damage from it that I can tell yet. You gonna? Nope, no damage. And newts are all dead, so we're fine. It was the mix of the newts and the webs that was the issue, but yeah. And honestly, scanning and hacking is fantastic for new bros. Because as an alpha, now you have issues. You have some issues getting your loot back out. If you can get it to a station, you're fine. But new bros can make tons of ISK just doing exploration, and the risk to their ships is extremely. No, there is still a newt. Ah, right, these guys. And the risk is minimal because you might lose 2 million, like a million or 2 million ISK, but you might be pulling out 100 million ISK or more from those sites. And it is random, but your odds are reasonably good of getting something good. Not gonna lie, I did some mining ganking. Mostly because I just kind of wanted to play with it. I've played on a lot of different things in EVE. I've done scamming. I've done ganking, minor ganking, and a little bit of other ganking, but I was never really good at it, so I didn't do that much of that. What else have I done? What's the scummier things I've done? I think that's about, like, is there anything scummy? No, I never really did gate camping. I don't have the patience for it. I never ran off with corporation assets because, again, I just don't have the patience for it. I mean, by the time, like, well, no, I did ganking since I did that. Never AWOX to cap. Although, this is, I didn't do anything wrong in this. I want you to know this, but this is a terrible thing I have done. 20 million there with a glorified decayed. So, a terrible thing I did, but I technically didn't do anything wrong, was I went and picked up my PI one day, and you're like, okay, you picked up PI. How terrible of a thing could this be? Wait for it. And this is when we had the Triglavian invasions, okay? And I jump into the system, and I'm about to warp, and I'm like, there is a freighter. Goddamn, Cinnables, why are you interrupting my story? No, not that way. Yeah, let's just go back this way. There is a freighter wreck sitting in front of me, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I know Trigs can kill freighters, but like, there's a wreck. There's a wreck right there. So I went over to the wreck, and I could see that it had a plastic wrap container. So somebody was doing a hauling run, and they didn't notice the Triglavian invasion. They had it so they would jump in automatically still, and they died. I'm hitting my ADC the first time in a bit. So the elite Dramiels really slow you down, and that makes you take more damage. You do have to be aware of those guys. But we're not in any real trouble here. But that's because this guy's dead in one more hit. There we go. So now there's no more newts. There's a whole bunch of webs. We just have to make sure we don't get too far away from our guys, because this is 60 away. I'm going 700, 400 fast. So there's a plastic wrap container in this freighter that had died in a high-sex system with a Triglavian invasion. If you were around for the Triglavian invasion days, they could hit hard. This was a real threat. Did not realize that. Well, I'm pretty sure I knew some freighters had died, but I don't know what the numbers were on those. So anyway, I go check plastic wrap container in it. I'm like, ooh. So I went and I peeked over the container. There was another battleship hanging around. I had escorts from my freighter because I was being very careful. The battleship hung around for a little longer than I cared for, but what I did was I aligned to the station. I waited till the battleship went away, 21 million. This is definitely a smaller loot one. And I grabbed it and warped to the station after when the battleship wasn't there, and got away with the plastic wrap. And I went and I checked what was in the plastic wrap without like pulling the stuff out, because you can do that. And it had 1.7 billion worth of stuff that was just sitting in space for me to loot. So I went back with one of my, not my freighter, and I checked the wreck to see who the wreck belonged to. And I messaged the guy and who would have lost a freighter and hadn't lost the contract yet, unless he rage quit the contract, which is possible. And I offered him to purchase the plastic wrapped container for 2 billion-esque. He declined. I cracked her open and got 1.7 billion worth of loot. However, it was probably pretty mean of me to offer him this thing that he had lost after losing a 2 billion-esque freighter. Oh, that's an origin. So that was 11 minutes on that one. So yeah, it's probably, yeah, right? Like, hey, I know you just lost a 2 billion-esque ship and a 2 billion-esque contract, but you want to buy this thing back so you get that 2 billion-esque contract back, but it's going to cost you that much anyway? And it's like, there's probably some cursing in that. But I'm like, I would rather the ISK instead of this, so let's see if he takes that. He did not. 54 on that. We'll just drop that one. I wasn't paying enough attention. 11 minutes, 11th. So I still have about 15 minutes left. So if I can do, well, might not get 7 minutes, but again, I don't need full boosters for these. So we should be fine anyway, as long as we don't get a terrible, terrible angel room for the last room if I have no boosters. No, why would I give him a discount? I could sell this shit for 1.7 billion. And also, it was already worth 1.7 billion to me. What's this one? Like, go to Jita, drop it off. Here's your 1.7 billion, Loki. So no, I was not giving him a discount on that. But usually people put the collateral for like 1.3 or 1.5 times. So I thought maybe he would save a few $100 million on the collateral. So I gave him that option, but he declined it. Although then again, like, and I was already on my way back to Jita with a whole bunch of planetary interaction. Like, it wasn't out of my way to take it to Jita to sell it. It was literally what I was doing. Yeah, but math can be mean still. It just because it's math doesn't mean it's a nice thing to do. You can do something that's math and do it in and give the completely appropriate right answer, but that doesn't mean that your tone or how you do it is necessarily appropriate either. Like, oh, by the way, 1 + 1 is 2. Maybe you should pay more attention, as opposed to, hey guy, look, like, take a look at this. 1 + 1 isn't 2. Be a little more careful with your math later. You know, please do it this way from now on. There's different tones you can have with it. Me being like, hey, I know you just lost a bunch of shit, but here's your options. Doesn't make it nice. $29 million there. By the way, I'm kind of surprised that some of the mutaplasmids are so damn cheap. Good job, Loki. Some of the mining mutaplasmids are so damn cheap. Because those could make some big differences, like, for miners. I don't think any of you actually targeted that ghosting next, but that's alright. Although I personally dislike mining, so you will not see me using them, probably. So, is there, like, something new that you benefit from paying attention to mining, or is it just the same old mining, but they changed it a little bit how it works? Like, what's going on with that? Is there not a reason to like, have they made it so that there's less point in, like, AFK mining with, like, 20 dudes? Besides burning out computers? Same exact mining, okay. Wasn't sure if they, like, threw in a minigame where you can click on something or some bullshit like that. 3 tangling. Oh, 3 starving. I hate starving. Okay, I'm probably going to put up with the starving this time. Let's orbit this. No short-range deviants at 20. Regroup. Tangling Kiki first every single time. Nobody loves you, Tangling Kiki. I really want to kill those starving, but I don't think anything's going to be really hitting me, so I'm just going to let my cap go down on all my dudes. Because I don't want to spend the time to kill the 3 starving while these guys are repairing. I don't want you through the extra armor. This is a choice you have. You can kill the starving, but these guys get armor back. Or you can kill these guys, and it's less tank to chew through, because you're not really getting hit anyway. Just make sure the tangling are dead, because the tangling can slow you down enough that you start taking hits, and that can be problematic. Shooting this guy now. Oh, okay, interesting. What are the escalations? Like, I'm assuming they're just more ore sites? But if you got the escalation, you're the only one that can see those. Like, other people can scan you down, but you're the one who can see them, right? $19 million there. One. So the Dynamics don't generally do enough damage that I care. So I should be safe at this point. Now, just pay attention, you'll be fine, but still. Oh, okay. Interesting. Not really. I hate mining. Still have no plans on making it a thing for me. Now, I say mining. I don't count gas cloud harvesting in this, but I think the prices have dropped on a lot of the gas clouds. I don't think I can see them in here. Oh, no, I can. Cytosterocin, 35, 40. Oh, what the hell? Malachite's worth a chunk. And Viridian's worth something. Malachite, Cytosterocin. Cool. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I farmed Contempo 4 billion in a weekend once. God damn. Okay. So this here, if this were my last room, I would be concerned. I'm going to overheat off the bat on this. There's still 2 Elite Dramules. We've got 4 Cinnables. This has the potential to be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem, but it has that potential to be. Pop the Cap Booster early. This is an example of a Tier 5 or Tier 6. Like, not Tier 6, there'd be a lot more little dudes. Going to get webbed in a second. That'll be problematic. That's when we start looking towards popping our... You making a liar out of me? There we go. When we start thinking about popping our ADC. Right there. Pop another Cap Booster. 2 of the Cinnables are dead. This is still much easier than my higher tier. I promise you. Okay, we're taking less damage. The Elite has moved off. The regular is still on. Elite is shooting this guy, so this guy is going to overheat his hardener. He's also webbed up the Wazoo, and that's problematic. But he is doing alright. So now we're going to start approaching the Biocache, because that's where I want to be. But we do have to watch him. If he takes a little bit too much damage, we might want to overheat his shield booster as well, but you have to be careful with that, because that overheats things a lot faster. We also don't want to get too far away from him, but that doesn't seem to be a problem right now, because it looks like we're both webbed. Okay, turn off the overheat, and we're fine. Now, this wasn't a higher tier one, but this is similar to how higher tier ones can show up. Now, that being said, you're not invincible in here. If you haven't noticed that yet, then it's something you need to be aware of. Just because it's a lower tier one, a tier 4 instead of a tier 5 or 6, doesn't mean there isn't stuff that can't kill you. Like, it's a matter of being careful. It's a matter of knowing what the problems are. And you will die sometimes. Maybe you'll just lose the tank. Maybe you'll lose a DPS. But it might be fine, kind of thing. So, I mean, my favorite thing to do for gas cloud huffing is taking like 10 Venturals that are worth next to nothing and going out and grabbing like 4 billion worth of gas. Now, I'm insane, so please be aware of that. But that is a thing you can do. 17 million? Whoa. No, I guess that's alright. Not as much as I would have hoped, but 65 million. And this time we're down to 3 minutes, so 3 minutes, I'm not, like, I could do a 6th one, but it has been about an hour already, so I'm not going to. 11 minutes? 11 and a half. I had some longer rooms that hour, and none of the super short ones. So, I mean, I'm running 4 accounts right now, so the amount that 4 ventures with not super, like, T2 would be ideal, but, well, I think I did have T2, actually. Or did I? No, I don't think I did. But they can make a good chunk of ISK in a reasonably short time. Okay, so this time it's 401 million. Decayed. I don't see Veli's blueprints in here, so not as interesting as the loot, but that's alright. But 400 million ISK an hour with very little costs is very nice to do. Like, I certainly enjoy it. And this is easier. This is more relaxed. You can, well, I mean, it's not fair to say because I can chat in tier 6s and run these, but that's not a thing that everyone can do. But I thoroughly enjoy Abysses, and I do like the higher tiers, but the lower tiers there's still a lot of ISK in it. I pulled out somewhere between 1.6 and 2.8 billion so far in 2 hours. I got a very, very nice blueprint. Now, that's goddamn random, but it was going to be 1 billion without that blueprint, which is still a lot of ISK for people. So 500 million an hour in tier 4s? Alright, I guess that's fair. Let's go over here. We're going to create giveaway. We're going to bring up that hourly. So this will be the last hourly of the night, but we still have the draw at the end of the night. So go hashtag hourly to draw that one, hashtag horde to do that one. I'm not as nice as Contempo. I will not double the draw. If I win it, I will just draw another name. So be aware of that. Repair you. Did I repair you? I should have. Yep. Good job, mate. I also, like, if you're docking up every hour, if you don't mind putting the boosters and stuff in, by all means. Like, you don't have to bring in the amount of boosters I am. You're just welcome to if you want to. It's just more you can lose, but I do it because I don't want to pull over that every single goddamn hour. I would rather just go out and fly again, and when I'm making that much, risking 20, 30 million in boosters is fine by me. Okay, so Scourge on you, 2,000. And 400s. Let's bring over 5 of those. And yes, there's missiles and boosters on top, but I mean, the blueprints do cover some of those costs as well. Raging Darks. We're just going to grab 3 more. I don't need 30. Don't get me wrong, they're super cheap, but probably not getting more than 6 in an hour. Not unless I upgrade my DPS a bit, which I could do, but probably not doing that either. Alright. 15 cat boosters is enough for you. I'm going to leave these guys here. This character's going to drag this over here. We will take another look at that. So what I got earlier was this here. So I was looking at the loot from the first hour, and I'm like, son of a bitch, that's a glorified unstable there. And that mutaplasmid, when it's made, use blueprint. It costs 44 million to make it, and on Eve, what the hell was it? Nope, Tycoon. There we go. On Eve Tycoon Market, it says it's between 700 in buy orders or 1.8 in sell orders. So there's a chunk there. You can get things like that pay your entire fleet sometimes. I will be back in a couple minutes. I'm going to leave you guys with a... Nope, you have something running there. I'm going to just leave you guys for a few minutes, and I will be back in a couple. Actually, it's a little later than I thought. It's still fun, I think. Let me double check this. 2:24. Yeah, that's all right. We just might cut the next hour short a bit. Also fine. Actually, I might run with less boosters. We can try that too. So let's drop the Pyro and the Pyro. So now I'm going to use a hard shell still. So that is 7.5 million that you'll be using. And these guys are only going to be using 4.5 million. So 7.5. So we're using about 18.5 million in boosters. No pyro. So that dropped it from 40 million to 18.5. Just cutting out the 2 pyro. The pyro is by far the most expensive. The blue is under 2. The synth is under 3. And pyro is 8.6. So it's a pretty big difference. I'll be back in a minute. Nope. Still can't leave you for an ad. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be a terrible person. Wait that 26 seconds, and then I'm gonna hit you with an ad anyway. But thank you all for joining me. I super appreciate you being here. Love hanging out with you guys. I'll do some shout outs towards the end. I do appreciate the follows and whatnot. And I shall see you in about 3 minutes here. Soon. Very, very soon. There we go. Be right back. Alright, I am back. Okay, that looks done. Good job. Let's see. So, Sidewinder, how you doing, buddy? Let's undock you. Undock you. Undock you. So we're running this without the the pyros, rather, this time. We're going to run a little shorter. Everyone's repaired. Just waiting to do that. Warp fleet. Turn on your hardeners. Don't need that open. Let's go over here. We will do the hourly. I'm going to do the final draw in about half an hour, in case you're wondering if you want to kick around or not. Manage that. Let's announce that that is closed. The winner is Saviak. There we go. And let's copy you, archive you, IGS paste, copy you, pop over to here, auto-link character, and give you your 50 million ISK. Now, even if you don't win the main draw for the end of the night, you still have a chance at winning 12th. 50 million ISK, because I have another thing that I do, because of course I do, where you get to guess at what card's going to come up, and if you guess, so you have a 1 in 50 chance, and if you guess correctly, you get 50 million ISK still. Okay, yeah, you got films, we're good. So, a little bit less DPS this time, 7% Pyro. But obviously we have worlds of time. We're not running for the full hour anyway, so it's definitely worth doing. However, very easy question. Does having more DPS give you tank? Blast Lance, short range, none of that stuff helps. Let's go over this way. It's a very easy answer. So easy, I'm just going to answer it anyway. Of course it does. Because if you can eliminate your target before you take damage, you're not taking damage. So, just completely destroying your enemy before they... Actually, that's also how most Black Ops works, is just destroying your enemy before they have a chance to do anything. Because if they don't get to shoot you, because you've just mercilessly murdered them, then yes, in that case... DPS is absolutely a way of tanking him, right? But I was there a second ago. Well, you're not now, so huzzah. Again, do not underestimate these lances. Blast Lance, I find, are the worst, followed by Spark, Kinetic, and... Thermal. I don't care so much about it. I got lots of tank for that. Ooh, Glass Cannon's a good one too. Same as you can do some neat things with buffer tanks as well. 34. I used to have a lot of fun with buffer tanks in the Abyssal PvPs when they had them. If you didn't get a chance to play those, I am so sorry, but I found them a lot of fun. Unfortunately, kind of same with like the PvP event they were just running or are still running, either which one that it is. It was unbalanced just in the fact that it could be thrown like you don't have to you can cheese the event is what I'm trying to get at. So for example, the new event, you have to kill a different player, a different ship, and you can do it in each type of space. So high sec, low sec, null sec. I mean, high sec you're probably dueling people, but that's fine, whatever. But the thing is, if you have enough friends, you can just kind of line up your friends, kill them once each. Each account can have 3 characters, so you can technically kill 3 different characters in nullsec and just go through frigates, destroyers, cruisers, and just boop, 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 boop. And they even said in the rules that yeah, you could totally do this, but so they're aware of how cheesy this particular event can be, but that's beside the point. It's kind of nice that they admit it right up front. Scyllas and fealties, so I'm not particularly concerned about any of these. Medium deviant, short range, multi-body tracking. Let's orbit at 30. Poisonous, let's not beat around the bush. I've got 60 accounts. I could plex most of them. That's 180 different characters. All I have to find is like one spot that's close enough to a trade hub, close enough to null, low, and high sec, which most of the trade hubs are at least high and low, obviously. Yeah, look, there's 180 kills, like, no problem. Granted, I don't want to do that much PI, but it is an option. Actually, does anyone know, is that still going on, and what's the leaderboard at? EVE Online PvP leaderboard. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, there's a Endure Strike Rise. Is that the one? No. That's probably something else. Shoot that. You still have cap. Good job, you. You should probably shoot something, though. So many accounts. Because I'm my own best friend. No. Besides, Poisonous, let's be honest, you would probably let me murder your characters. As long as I provided all the ships. I mean, it's practically a new insurance scam, let's be honest. Open that. 11 million. That's probably... Is that the worst one? I think so. So the thing you have to know about me running frigates is every single room I do is like somebody running a full site with a cruiser. So that 11 million, that was just what somebody got for the entire run. They got 3 low-ass things of this and a light entropic disintegrator blueprint for all 3 of the rooms. Like, so sad. But, also, I got that blueprint that's worth a ton of ISK, and they could have gotten that in just one room as well, so. It's up and down. So the other cans is... One second here. No, it's not too bad. Is usually just some low-end... Well, the 0-point condensate or crystalline isogen for crafting. And survey databases. It won't have anything other than those. Depending on what tier you're in, they can be worth anywhere from largely 0 in every single tier, upwards of 15 million ISK. Those are unaffected by the number of ships you bring in. So where the biocache is tripled because I'm running frigates, those are not. Coasting next, though. So it's a little better to grab those when you're running like a Gila or something like that, or just any cruiser. As long as you still have lots of time, then you can do that. But I have known people who have lost ships because they weren't careful doing that. And they're definitely not worth losing ships over. Like, you might gain some, but you're definitely... If you lose ships over it, it's a far down. 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I don't know why all these guys are targeting 2 first, but that's alright. Open that. 71 in a Veli's. Beautiful. Just going to orbit this here. Cataclysmic Exotic is almost worth more than the other rooms by itself. But that brought us up to 117. I'll grab some of them on my third one, that like so number 14 before I finish up, just so you can kind of see what's in these ones. So it's kind of like salvaging. If you have the time, feel free to grab it. There's nothing wrong with grabbing them. I personally think they're better to grab with cruisers. You drop your mobile tractor beam, mobile tractor unit close to the gate, and if you can sit around the gate, you can have them pull it in. If it's one where you have to fly around a bit more, then I would skip it, but you do you. And the last room, if you have an abundance of time, it could be worth grabbing there. But all in all, generally, I don't think they're worth grabbing for myself. I would rather do more and faster than grab those, especially for tier 4. I want to spend that extra time. I want to run an extra room if I can, because that extra room might be worth 100 million. Those cans are probably only going to be worth like 3 million to me. So if I can get another run in and get either a lucky drop or I can get 100 million, I would rather that than an extra 3 million in each room. Especially where my filaments are costing me like $1 million. Or, no, actually, sorry, these are costing me 3 million each, aren't they? No, wait. 3 million a run? Damn it, I was wrong. That's probably 54 million for filaments. Son of a bitch. 3 times, yeah, 18. No, I'm wrong. It's definitely 18. Never mind. 10.5 minutes without boosters. I'm a little tired. It's okay. Extra rooms. There's no extra rooms in tier 6. Or do you mean the extra caches? You still don't want them anyway. They're still only worth about 15 million. So cruisers again. Sorry, cruisers. You want them? They cover your filament costs a fair bit. Frigates, you don't care. I totally did not do that. Oh, gotcha. Yes, that makes sense then. Yeah, yeah. If I can get an extra 400 million over, like probably 30 million per site, then it's generally still worth it. But it's a little more questionable with the higher tier, though. Oh, I am in a speed cloud. That's something to be aware of. Let's go this way. This looks like nice open space. I've been wrong before, though, so keep an eye on it. That looks like it's ending. Yes, we're good. That one. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Which are good, which are bad. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Don't ask your corporation, they'll give you some. Okay, so this is not a particularly threatening room. We're just going to murder everything and approach the biocache. Okay, so that's going well there. Target that thing. Shoot more of these dudes. Grab that. 14 million in glorified decay. That is just decayed. That's where I found like the glorified unstable, which is an extremely rare drop, but that's how this here is 1.2 billion to 2.4 billion in the first hour. Like, ridiculous. Love it. I tend to craft those ones too. I get bored with the gravids, but so I'll sell them. But I will craft the decayed. Okay, let's just approach this now. that guy, shoot that guy, obfuscator, illuminator, illuminator. Probably don't need to target the other guy, but just in case. You're not shooting. There we go. So now that illuminator is going to get wrecked real quick. There we go. It is pretty close to that, yes. Let's orbit this. So I don't want to be too close to these deviants here. So let's just go, you know what, we're just going to go for this and see how close we end up to that. And we're going to kill the Velas first. Approach that. Deviant is still 30 some away. We'll see how close we get when we orbit this at 1,000, but we should be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. Another 10 million. God damn it. Regroup you guys because I'm a slacker. They're 20 away, but they're mostly after this guy, so it should be fine. Harrowing, harrowing, harrowing. And we're well on our way with this one. Velas generally don't do enough damage that I care about all this, so we're fine. Do I have the Abyss one on here? Abyss tracker? No, probably not. Let me go grab the website right quick. I'm not currently using it, but it's a very good website to use for looking up different values and stuff on here. And to see what people are not exactly running, but whatnot. So a Tier 6 cruiser is going to make approximately 121 million a run. Tier 5 frigates are going to make 173 million in a Tier 5. So Tier 5 frigates is higher than Tier 6 cruiser. By about 20 million. 20 million a run? 20 million a run. Okay, transfer conduit it is. And we're still 20 away from that. This guy's within 5 or so we should be fine with shooting here. If we notice a big difference, we'll move away, but I don't think we will. Nope, we got hits. So we're going to the last room. We have almost 14 minutes left. Okay, these are the bad ones that we don't like. So we're going to go for the starving first. There is a tracking that we're going away from. I don't see a lot of issues with going around this. So we're going to start off at 15. Oh, there's 3 Fedmax in here. So the Fedmax do damage and the Damavix don't. So I like the Damavix for taking less damage. But more Damavix takes more time. So I would actually rather see the Vedmax instead. Because I can kill them faster. So I prefer time over I'd rather take a little more damage because I can easily tank these than have to spend more time. And I'm at 19 kilometers. These guys don't nuke very well at 19 kilometers, so... Oh, God, no. These guys chase me. Depending on which one you're in, the Leshiks will scatter, if you are not in darks. In darks, Leshiks are more likely to kind of chase you. But you don't care that they scatter because of the fact that you have 47 kilometers range and they don't. Damavix and Vedmax chase you. But again, if you're running electrical... So, in darks, the Overmind and Karen, they chase you in darks if you're far enough away from them. So if you are at 50 kilometers, they follow you. And darks are the only place that they do that. Every other abyss, because they don't lose that range, they don't have that minus 50%, they will run away from you. Darks, they will chase you. So you can play darks differently, and this is one of the reasons why I've gotten so good at these, is that I play darks differently than what other people play the filaments that they run. Yeah. So, some of the cap... Well, I mean, all of the decayed cap ones are largely worthless. I found a gravid one, and it's still not worth that much. It's like 10 or 20 million ISK, so nothing worth writing home about. But, yeah, some of the unstable ones are pretty good. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay, 1 to 3s have a much lower range penalty. But what ship are you flying as well? Uh, 10 minutes on that one. I might want to go grab the loot, I suppose. I might be getting tired. Oh, okay. Retries and Darks? Interesting. 29 million there. Kiki Blueprint. So that's 53 million. And not all that long. Ten and a half minutes. Okay, I have to try to remember to go grab the caches in the next ones. $53. Yep. Activate for fleet. So the reason why I was marking up my filaments more than they were was because I was thinking I hadn't tripled them, but I had tripled them. So that was what I was doing. Okay, so we've got Starving. We have 4 Dracovics in here. No towers. Not overly concerned about that cloud. We're going to take this to 20 because there's no tangling in here. 2, 2, 1, 2. I'm double checking that all my... You didn't reload. All of my stuff is turned on, which normally you'd be like, that seems like a weird thing for you to say, Loki, but I almost didn't loot a biocache. I'm going to have to start double checking stuff here. So we've got this over here. Let's approach that. Not particularly concerned about this room. I don't know why you don't have that guy targeted. Shoot the biocache. Shoot that. Apparently we're shooting 3 first. Open that. Shooting 3 first. And open that for 1.5 million. Two, and 2. This guy has no cap. Let's see here. Let's go 1, 2 on the starving. Everybody has everything. We're fine there. Apparently I'm shooting different ones. You're shooting A where you guys are shooting 2. That's a mistake. I am making a couple little mistakes, just so we're aware. Again, getting a little tired. Okay, let's shoot 2, because 2 is down a bit further. So I got the 0-point condensate and a little bit of isogen for that 1.5 million. Somehow you still have absolutely no cap. Doesn't look like you're the one getting shot at, though. Oh, there is a Kiki in here, though. How do both of you... Oh, because there's 2 of them. That makes sense. Alright, you know what? I should almost kill that Kiki first, because he's the only one that can do damage, but he's probably going to stay shooting at the guy who has all of the cap. So, I mean, it's not really a huge issue. The Jackdaw is definitely one of my favorite ships to bring in here. Oh, you're finally getting neutered again. Good stuff. That. Approach that. Open that. There we go. $18 million there. Make sure everybody reloads this time. You know what? I'm going to pop a few cap boosters because I've been fairly cheap on those lately anyway. If you're a little low, it's not a bad idea to pop a cap booster before you hit the next room because then you'll have it reloaded by the time you might need it. Okay, a bunch of spark lance. We're not super concerned about that, but we are going to be reasonably careful with it. We don't want to let them get too close. I see a single snare caster in there. If we go through the blue cloud, they will take more damage from missiles. So instead of taking 2 to 4 hits, they might take 1 to 2 hits instead. And we have an ADC if we run into trouble, so we should be fine. Also webbed, I still have a max speed of 1100, so it's still hard for them to hit me in here. There are 5 of them left. 4 of them left. Less of them left. Nope, still 5, damn it. Apparently I miscounted them earlier. Okay, that's all of them. So now we're down to 3. 2. Open that. Right? Only if they're in them and not us. $20 million there with a Skinner. Oh, right node. So this would be a terrible time to go get this node, except that I am super ahead, so I don't mind. This is my last run, so me losing a little bit of boosters isn't a problem. But normally, so let's see what the time is. 13:30. So you're like, okay, it's not too bad. It's one node. It's 50 kilometers away. You already started it beforehand. How bad could it be? So 13:30. I'm going to try not to putter too much. Could have been out already. 3.3 million. So 0 point condensate, and I see an extra survey database in there. So 0 point condensate doesn't normally drop in here. Okay, so activate gate, activate gate, activate gate. So a minute, and you might be like, well, you still have 12.5 minutes, but a minute is a lot of time in the abyss. Now, tier 4s, I've been well ahead on all of these. It's not a big deal. However, if you're running tier 5s or tier 6s, you really want to be careful with that. Okay, we're going to mark these as 1 and 2, and these two are going to start shooting them. You're going to start shooting these guys. 16. Again, so these shoots the big guys, this shoots the little guys. It's the way I prefer it. These guys don't rep a ton. The Lucid Deep Watchers, I think, have a small rep, but if you take a look at them, you can see them doing something anyway. But it's not enough that you really notice what they're doing. So they're not heavy reps by any stretch, but you do notice that they rep. I can't remember if these guys have something as well. See something going there. And the easiest spot to notice is usually here. Currently it's at 51 armor. So this guy, so here you probably could. But this guy has an ADC and 1 ballistic control. These guys have 2 ballistic controls. And the ADC is, for tier 4, is especially just for the Angel Room. Well, okay, I say that, but it's a no shit button for largely any of the rooms, but primarily for the Angel Room. Because you can still get some really big Angel Rooms in here that are a bit problematic. But it's much less likely than tier 5 or 6. Okay, so I'm just gonna go grab this 42 kilometer one. Not invested in grabbing the further ones. I've got 2 already. I just kind of wanted an example of them. I should send these guys back orbiting that gate. That one's not too far off, is it? Fine, let's go for that one as well. But keep in mind that these shots that I'm taking that aren't at the big guy, that's DPS that I'm missing out on. 4.8 million there. And if you run out of range or stuff like that, it can really add up to how much DPS you lose, which is why I generally dislike doing this. But I also have Worlds of Time, and I wanted to get a few. 6 million there. So 11, 14, so over 15 million in extra nodes. And considering that my highest drop was 20 million in that to begin with, it ended up being a little bit worth it to grab those. It certainly bumped me up. However, again, the speed is a thing, right? So this ended up being 70 million instead of 54? 54. So it's not wrong to grab them. Those can be less than 1 million as well, though. You're not guaranteed to get that much out of them. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay, let's dock this guy up here. Pop over to this one here. Dock up. It's only half an hour. Let's see. So... oh, that's an easy 170. So that's 240 million in 30 minutes. A little longer. 35 minutes. But still worked out to 1.24 billion in 2.5 hours, plus a blueprint that's probably going to be worth upwards of 600 to 1.2 billion. So luck definitely plays a factor in it. But tier 4s are really easy to run. You should run tier 4 darks every day, all day, every single day. Please run more tier 4 darks. And make sure you liquidate your filaments, because you don't need things like agitated darks or chaotic firestorms, or even though it's not showing here, cataclysmic darks. Make sure you put those up in the market so that other people can buy them and you can make more risk off of them. And then you have more risk to go over to this Nez store. I know it's not Nez store, it's just Nez, but I still like calling it Nez store. And you can come and grab this for free. But more importantly, please ignore all of the stuff below here. You can go over to services. Wait, there's something. Oh, right, that's that. You go to services. What do we have here? So we got new packs. Wow, you are expensive, aren't you? So 6 months Omega is normally 2,100. So 2,900 for... oh, that's a lot of skill points. That's 3.6 million at least. 2 MCTs and 10 skill extractors. I like how they give you 3.6 million skill points and also 10 skill extractors to then pull all of those out, right? But you got the MCTs. Oh, they're not multiple character. They're now multiple pilot. MPTs. Look, they changed them. And a couple other things. I would rather 6 months or 6 months times 2 Omega and have some left over. But yeah. Oh, double the extractors too, eh? Kind of makes sense then. But I would rather get these. So if you get 3 months, you get 23% off. No, that's multiple character. If you get 3 months, you get 20% off. And the big thing about that is let's go over to here. You should not buy Omega 1 month at a time, unless you absolutely have to. Just don't do it, because a month of Omega, 500 Plex. So is it still 4 point? I can look this up. What am I doing? Let's go to Eve Tycoon. Market browser, Plex. It was 4.4. Oh, it's even less now. It's 4.2-ish. All right. So 500. 4.2 is going to be 2.1 billion. 3 month is 400 per month. Is 1.7 billion. 6 month is $350 per month. Which is $1.5 billion. So I highly do not recommend getting a month of game time at a time. 6 months or more is what you should be going for. What was it per for higher than that? Services. Okay, $3,600 for 12, so that's $300 a piece. So it just gets cheaper and cheaper, right? So if you get a year at a time, it's $1.26 billion. And what's it work out to for the last one? Vince, when I first started, it was $300 million to get that. And what's that work out to? Calc 6,600 divided by 24 is 275, so it's only slightly less for that. If you're running a lot of accounts with PI, then that's definitely worth it. 275 times 4.2 is 1.155. So less of a benefit from that one to that one. So if you're paying 12 months at a time, it's pretty damn good. But you should not be paying 1 month at a time. I get that sometimes you have to. Maybe, oh, right. Actually, it is definitely still there. Because I'm a slacker. I think I have 2 more characters to grab that onto. Skin that. Now, those are the not on sale, like those are the regular prices. Sometimes these will go on sale too, and this one might drop to either $350 or $325 or $300, or this one will drop to $300, not usually lower than that. But that does come up from time to time. So keep that in mind. But ideally, the longer you can pay for, the better. I find that the difference between these two, you still save like $1 billion-isk over it. But this is, if you're doing multiple characters, that's probably the one you want. Just so you're aware. Some people have more experience with that than others do. Alright, so now that we have that, let's manage this. This is your last chance to get on that. Hashtag Horde. Enter the Dragon's Horde. We are going to be doing that draw imminently. I just have to go to here, and I'm going to throw this on this screen. Let's throw it on this screen. And we're going to go add display capture. This might look freaking weird. That's okay. Knucklehead, thank you for the follow. Sorry if I missed other people's, but yeah, I just finally was able to see one. And there we go. You get to see all this stuff here. So we have 33 people in. We are going to close it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm pretty generous with this, so be aware that I may bring that back up. Close. Xavier, I think, got it. We should be good. And I'm going to announce that it's closed, and I'm going to draw the winner. The winner of the Dragon's Horde, that does not mean you don't win something, is Stoffel the Honey Badger. God damn it, Stoffel, you ragged. Alright, copy that. We are going to take the display capture and remove that. Yep. Bring you back over to here. Let's go. Nope. IGS paste. Higgs boson. Didn't you win? You definitely won a Contempo draw today, too. You lucky son of a bitch. Autolink character. God damn it. Higgs boson, capital B. That looks like the one. I don't normally have to confirm, but I'm assuming that's you. And we're going to go from there. I have a little bit of time here anyway. So, what we're going to do... Got you there. Let's make you bigger. I think I forgot to make you bigger other times. Ah, my picture is still small. No, wait, that's not even the one I wanted to do. Ah, my picture is still small. All right, there we go. We're going to take this camera and go. We're going to look at my follow-up mat here. So, what we're going to do... Stoffel, are you here, Stoffel? I didn't see you say anything. Stoffel, I would like you to look at this beautiful, beautiful plex, followed by this beautiful, beautiful plex, which are not actually super special camouflaged, but they kind of are tonight. And I'm going to start shuffling this 50-card deck. Now, I need some people to talk in chat. No numbers or anything, just say hi or hello or hey, I'm in chat or I hate mining, something like that. It doesn't matter which. I'm going to pick one of your names, and because Stoffel hasn't said anything, there we go. Knucklehead, I would like you to pick me a number between 1 and 50 for Stoffel. This is Stoffel's number. This is not your number. Between 1 and 50. Okay, that is Stoffel's number. Let me go just write something in here. Number 33 Dragon Horde. That's not how you spell that. Okay, now, yourself included, I need everyone to pick a number between 1 and 50. If you pick, if I can find the goddamn guy, I should have made him easier to see. He's a foil. That makes it a little more difficult. If you find Mr. House, who I'm pretty sure has enough green on him that you can't see shit anyway, as the thing in here, pick one number, by the way, don't pick multiple, then you will win 50 million ISK by getting this guy. Any other card, you don't get anything. Stoffel is guaranteed to get something, but you guys are all after Mr. House. I'll give you guys a minute to pick numbers between 1 and 50, and then we're going to do this draw. I like to shuffle it up nice and good anyway. All the cards are largely warped because they're mostly foils in here. I need to throw them in a dehydrator if I want to get rid of that. And if Stoffel does come back, he can pick his own number, but we do have one for him if he does not. He has to get back before we start this. He knows how this works, don't worry. But the thing is, like, people have kids, people have jobs, people need to go. And I want you to win the draw, and there's nothing wrong with the way that other people do it. That's perfectly fine. And a lot of times their draws are also fairly short time frames, so it's all legit. But this is just how I like to do my draws. It's fair, there's nothing wrong with it. You enter the draw, you have a chance to win the draw. Done and done. Alright, so I'm going to call it good there. I'm going to close this thing up, and the way I close this up, and I'm still fairly generous with this. I do that, I'm going to give a couple seconds. If somebody else says something, then I will let them into the draw. That's fine. I'll just put off another cutoff. Give it a couple seconds here. Alright, we look good. And we're looking for Mr. House, and we're looking for number 33. Those are the two things we care about. So, Mr. House, card 33. Alright, let's see which one we get first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I like how the waistline shows up, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, 22 is Mr. House. Now, I don't think we hit dog meat yet. Dog meat is the other one that he can win $2 billion off of. But since we got that one, we'll leave that there. 22, 23, 24, 25. Which was that? Symbol Legion. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. All right, so there's definitely some good cards left in here because let's take a quick look. So House is out, but what did I have in there? So there's 3 Pip-Boy, there's Dog Meat, and there's the alternate one. So alternate. What you call it? Pip-Boy art. Holy shit, I think he's got a fairly good chance. Alternate? Like 1, 2, and 4? So rigged. So there's only one card in here worth less than 500 million, is that right? No. This is 33. There's 17 cards, not 7. Okay, no, we're fine. Alright. Stoffel's card is a Wayfarer's Bauble. Wayfarer's Bauble is not legendary. It is a standard card. So he gets 100 million. So let's go here. We're going to send him the 100 million. Give 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll take a look at what else is around there in a second. Mr. House is number 22. Did anyone pick 22? Usually somebody says something. There was a couple 21s. Also, unrelated note, I forgot to mention it this time, but sometimes I do. It's fine if multiple people pick the same number. You just both win the money, if that's the case. So there's 33. 34. Nothing special. 35. That would have been $1 billion. Am I wrong here? Am I missing cards or something? Maybe I'm drunk. Nope, those are those ones. Oh, god damn it. Well, it's a good thing everyone picked low because I left some of the cards over here. I'm like, what is going on here? It's because I thought these were empty sleeves, and they're not empty sleeves. However, fortunately, Mr. House was in here, so you actually had a slightly better chance. Although, one second here. Saviek. No, we still have 38 cards, so you are fine. Xavier, Mendoza Kai, and Crooked Hillary. Guys, wouldn't have been in there because I was silly. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be a little nicer than I actually have to be, but I am fine with that. So I sent that off. Nobody else won 50 million. I did warn you guys that I was a little tired today. But that's also alright. What are you doing? You go away.
Hello, adventurer, and thank you for following Logan.
That would be not the IC one. Okay, you were sent yours already. So I'm not going to give you the 50 million that I normally would because technically you were just outside of the range that it was supposed to be. But I'm going to send you guys 25 million each because I definitely screwed up a tiny bit. You guys did not get cards. It is not kind of like it. It is fine, but it's not fine. I don't like it. So you guys get 25 million each. Savik, I think, was fine. It was over the 40 mark, really. So you, and Crooked Hillary. Copy. So a smidgen less, but just because you guessed higher than what I had messed up there. Off to you. Off to you. Off to you. There you go. Yeah, but you would have been fine. There's about 38 cards in there, so it's the people over 40 that I'm sending it off to, which was the Crooked Hillary, the Savik was just on the cusp, Xavier, and Mendo Kasai. So realistically, they were fine, but I'll give you guys a little bit of a I screwed up prize because I'm fine with an I screwed up prize. Let me bring this back down to my normal kind of thing. And yeah, no, nope, that's not the one. There we go. Boop. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful night streaming. Sorry I got tired. I obviously didn't mean to, but that's the way it kind of goes sometimes. I had fun. I like being here with you guys. I'm going to miss next week. I've got a work trip. I should be back the week after. I don't want to try to make any promises of making it up or anything like that. Just getting back into it, trying to work on getting into the swing of things. My camera looks weird, but that's kind of fine. I'm going to go find somebody just to send you guys into while I archive that thing. Twitch. EVE Online. Who do we got today? Send you over to Bond Jr. Is there anyone I recognize in my list? Yep, Bond Jr. is in my list. That's who I'm aiming towards. Okay, so let's do that. Raid. Bond RJR. Bond. Nope. Bond RJR. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me. What? Copy. Pause. Raid. Paste. There. That worked that time. What the hell was the difference? Alright, I'm clearly drunk. That's the only reason for this. Anyway, whatever. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me. I'm so tired for some reason. I don't know why it just hit me. I will see you when I get back next time. Might be a couple weeks. Probably a couple weeks. Again, I don't want to make any promises, but if I show up and it's a happy accident, let's just go with it. Fly fun. It's okay to lose ships. Just try to make that thing positive, but even if it's not and you're having fun, that's perfectly okay. That's what EVE is about. So I will see you later. Have a wonderful evening, guys.